Good morning, Robert.
Good morning, good morning.
Sorry, waiting in the kitchen? Okay, sure. Okay. Thank you. Morning. Morning.
Man stellt sich weg, Shabbos Bereishis, so geht das the ganze Jahr. So Baruch Hashem, we started the new season with Limud Torah, with the Torah, Tzedakah. So maybe shall often we should go a good year of Limud Torah and a good year in everything. Okay. So today's shir is in honor of Shlomo Aaron Mendel Halevi ben Chaya Bela, and in honor of Yaakov ben Elio Halevi Zechrono Levracha. Amen. By the way, if you wash, you still make a separate bracha on the cookies and Baruch Atonu Malachon Be'Breit. Amen. And the strawberries and the apples.
Strawberries are very, I don't eat strawberries.
Okay.
Big problem.
Okay. Hey, Ellie?
Would you like coffee?
Yeah, why not?
With
Thank you.
sugar?
No sugar, no sugar.
With milk or without milk?
Yeah, milk. Okay.
All right.
I'm getting ready for Yom Tov. People asking me shilas, and someone asked if they could come for the night meal. Oh, for sure, yeah, sure. Then the person writes to me, Rabbi, if I work for cash, but in an industry, do I still give Maisa? Like, let's say I make 1,500 a night for a few hours. I didn't understand the question.
You'll get mine. We'll give a
Thank you very much. I didn't understand the question.
He may think because he's not reporting it, but Hashem still knows about it.
Uh-huh. So you think that's what I should answer?
No, I'm saying that that may be prompting the question that because it's not declared income, does he still have to give Meiser on it?
Uh-huh. So I asked my wife, what's the difference if the money is $1,500 made by day, by night? My wife said, "Look, you don't understand the question."
Do you understand it?
Oh, now I understand the question. I was out of Yom Tov and I read it quickly. I didn't have the question right away.
I want to ask another question. Could it be that is the only money he is making over the span of six months? Then it would be a different question.
I don't know. Needless to say, I didn't give much credence to the Shaila. Well, you never know where a person's state of being is.
Yeah.
Sometimes little children, the best thing is to just ignore. Not to talk about bad behavior, just ignore. But the woman's asking a Shaila. She's making $1,500 a night, and she wants to know, she's a Zoina, she makes $1,500 a night, and she wants to know if she's mechuyev to
You can't bring an offer. She can't bring an offer.
Or talks about bringing the korban from a stolen animal.
It's got from work. Listen, can you keep it away? He also talks about his own and something. Now, are you back in about a half an hour? I gotta go get a van. Yes. You can help. Yeah. We'll be back in about a half hour.
Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam bo'odei min ha'mezonach.
But she's asking you the question with that confession.
I'm not a priest.
She should speak to her accountant.
Oh. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam she'hakel midvarim. Like I said, I didn't want to make a big tzimis because Nebuch, a person who's that state of mind. I wrote, "It's your discretion." ... So I didn't want to give a little more fodder to the fire. But still, the question was asked. She's a zoyna, she makes $1,500 a night. She mechuyev to give ma'aseh. Mamash at tzedkonis. She has mamash just this little shaila to ask. Nothing else. Nothing else is negeya. Everything has been worked out already. Everything already has been worked out. Api the Shulchan Aruch and the Kitzur Shulchan Aruch. Little detail, little question.
But if you
Like-
do that, that's a whole story.
That's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying. Like Asaph asked. So there has a
Take
shaykh.
Meiser on salt or something.
Exactly. Keitzad Maasin and Samelech L'Zatevet. So okay. So what's the answer? What's the answer to the question? The pasuk says. By the way, this week there's a shaykh of this week's parsha. Kamolor it's Chomos. Maybe she'll help that will get rid of the Chomos completely. But it has a shaykh of this week's parsha, next week's parsha, and the parsha afterwards. But anyway, let's first start with the pasuk. The pasuk says in Kiseitzei, in the parsha Kiseitzei, Loisavi esnan zoynu mechir kele beis Hashem alakech el chol neder kisei ves Hashem alakech yem. That if a zoyna gets a gift, it's also for her to bring it to the Beis Hamikdash. The Gemara says in Baba Kamadaf Kuvdalad, why? Because it's over most. Then Ramban writes in the pasuk, "Hazoyno is yasa be'esnan shalahem mitzvahs, toishris lakaper al chatosan, kemoishi yaskiru rabbeinu b'moshel shalahem." Like our sage said, "Gaipe b'sapuchaya ufolga levishaya." That she's a zoyna, she gets paid, she gets apples and she gives it to the poor people. It's a derogatory mashal. It's not the Chazal is not trying to say a nice thing. They're trying to say how ridiculous the zoyna in her mind. She thinks she's at tzadkonis. She gives out the apples to the poor people. You're the Torah l'soif daite shalodam. If the zoyna could bring a sheep to the Beis Hamikdash, she's going to end up doing more Avedas. Because she's going to say, tonight I'm doing a triple Aveda. I'm going to get 3 unbelievable fat sheep, and tomorrow bring them to the Beis Hamikdash. The Eibush didn't want the Chas v'Shalom, she should sin.
Just to be able to.
So the Eibush said, the Chatchili should know, I'm not going to accept the Esnan Zoyna. Obviously, the Ramban is al derech hadrush. It's the spirit of it's the spirit of the law. Because l'choira, if that was really the case, I thought it would say also money. And money is also asad. We'll learn soon that the din is that only the sheep that she gets as a gift is asad. But if she takes the sheep and shechts it and turns it into meat and then sells it and she has money from it, then she's allowed to bring that money to the Beis Hamikdash. But anyway, there's a Sefer Ma'aseh Choshev Pashas Noach. I just want to read the words he says. He brings it because it says Mikol Achai Mikol Basar Tovi. You should bring to the Teva. He brings the word Tovi 12 times in the Torah. And one of the times is Loisavi Esna Zaina Mechikelav Azora Laodam Shalayitin Tzedakah Rak Memamoyna Shabala Beheta V'loy Min HaGezel The Mitzvah Baba Aveda V'Eleches L'Sitra Achila She Zoyna V'Kelav Samachmem V'Leilis. Okay, you hear? And then there is a sefer called Yad Yehuda. He says that when Avimelech gave a elef kesef to Sarah, he said, he writes, he brings a whole thing that the Panim Yofef, the Afla writes that that's the Dmei Boishes that you have to give to the husband. And then he writes, Ilu also Avimelech Aveirim Sarah, Imken akesen shnosen lahem esnan zoyna. Vayichay noisen Avram meiser mizeh. It says that Avram gave meiser mekoil. If it was if Avimelech really did out of Aveda, so then the money would be an esnan zoyna, and then Avram wouldn't give meiser from it. So it seems that that you don't give meiser from not kosher money. It seems that you don't give meiser from not kosher money.
That include gambling?
Huh?
That include gambling?
Right. I'm gonna. In the conclusion, we're gonna talk about. The truth is, Zayla is a little different. Zayla is something else.
I say gambling.
Right. That could be Zayla. That goes into Zayla. That might be Zayla. Might not be. Whatever. We spoke once in the sheet about what the issue of gambling is. But and there's a moedic story in a Sefer Me'il Tzedakah. I don't know if we have time for it now. So maybe I'll just post it in Mitzvah Shem at the end of the week. So I just want to get to the actual din. The Rambam writes in the Surim Mizbeach, Perek Dal Aloch Ches, Ezu Eslan. What's the din of a Eslan? Omer v'zoyna heilach dov ez v'schar chachat zoyna kusis v'chivcha Yisrael l'sher v'lav v'machir v'lavin. Avo pnuya afilo hoya koyen esnan amuter. It has to be that a zoyna means esnan zoyna means that she's an erva. He's not allowed to marry her. It's a isur kodesh or isur belav to marry her. So if it's also to marry her, and it's a lav or it's kodesh, and now he slept with her and he gave her a gift, that gift is called an esnan. That gift is called an esnan. Ava pnuya filo yakoin esnan amuta v'chein ishta nida esnan amuta afa pishe. Interesting machloikis. The Minchas Chinuch talks about the machloikis between the Pri Megadim and the Machzah Shekel. What happens if she is not his wife, but she's a regular woman that's a nida, a regular woman that's a nida, and he sleeps with a woman that's a nida, and he gives her a gift? Is that called the esnan zoyna? He's allowed to marry her. You're allowed to marry a nida. I mean, the Rambam doesn't like whatever, but the point where our minig is yet to marry a woman.
Referring to a Jewish.
Yeah. So that's an interesting machlokes.
He gave the gift as payment, or is the gift just out of affection?
That's payment. That's what we're talking
No,
about.
you said he gave her a gift. Was that a gift?
And
or
whatever
make
as a payment, as a payment. That's what it is. Let's continue. Halacha Yudalid. The Rambam says, "Ein also mishum esnan mechir ela gufon." Usually, people don't give a zona a gift as for affection; they give it for payment. Halacha Yudalid. Ein also mishum esnan mechir ela gufon. Al fikich ein also ela al davar aroy likorav agab mizbeach. To go in behemoth toyde betoyne b'neyam and v'sheman v'soilus. Even Shemin, because Shemin is Roy Lovey, it's also, by the way, in Samtaf Reish Ayin Gimel, the Pri Megadim says if a Jewish woman is a zoyna and she gets oil, she gets a case of oil, a bottle of oil, Shemin Zayis Zoch, as a esnan. She's not allowed to use it for the menorah, because he says also for mitzvahs, you're not allowed to. Also for mitzvahs, you're not allowed to use esnan zoyna. Not so lamos, but lokcha behem korban, and there's a kosher. He gave her money. Money is different. Okay. So.
Excuse me, possibly sorry, esnan zoyna. That's in Chumash Dvarim.
Yep. If you look in the second line, kosav enam misurim mizbeach ezu dvarim from gimel yutes. So, skip to the next paragraph. The Ramo writes, "Narachaim Simon Kufnum Gimel also lasses mes non zoyna mechir kelo dovishal mitzvah." You're not allowed to do a dovishal mitzvah with an esnan, just like you're not allowed to do a korban. You're not allowed to do any mitzvah. Going beis hakneses Sefer Torah v'dafka me esnan atzma. Avalim nosla moz besnano. If he gave her money, mutalik l'san dvar mitzvah. V'loy mikra zoyna el isa erva. Avalela pnuyas hakedeshes shemagdishes davar mutter l'kabel mehem. A zoina is only if it's a isa erva. It would be also for him to marry this man, but otherwise it's not called a zoina. So this basically the Gra writes that there was really a machlokes in the Gemara Tmura the test between the understanding Gemara according to the according to Tosfos, if she once slept a bias asura, she's called a zoina. And now, anytime she would get a esnam for sleeping with someone, that would be considered an esnam. But the Shulchan Aruch seems to paskin like that Rambam. The Shulchan Aruch seems to paskin like that Rambam. That's what the Shulchan Aruch holds, that loy nikra zoina ela isa erva, like the Rambam, not like Tosfos. And even though Tosfos is much more, it's a difficult sugya in Tmura Daf Chavtes, but the Tosfos works very, very good in the Gemara, and the Rambam is very difficult to work its way in the Gemara. But we see the Shulchan Aruch, the Rambam paskins like the Rambam. Another thing is, it seems to me over here that that if a person gives a esnan to a pnuya, she's a nida, right? So that would not be called a esnan. Why? Because the Ramon wrote his dinim for regular people, right? He didn't write dinim in the sky. He write practical dinim, right? He says if there's a woman today, a woman nebach, a Yiddish woman, then she is a kadesha. She makes $1,500 a night. Yeah. So if she comes and she gives gifts to the shul, they're allowed to accept from her. Hey, wait a minute. Pause. Yeah, time out. Hey, wait a minute. We know that, and we spoke about this a long time ago, in one of the shilas that we had in the Kollel edition, that the Beis Yosef brings our minig. Our minig means already 500 years, this minig, that we don't let penuyas women that are unmarried to go to the mikveh, right? The Jewish community owns the mikveh. Mm-hmm. There's a mikveh lady. It's not any person that wants just walks into the mikveh.
What's to stop her from going to a lake or?
Yeah, there's nothing stopping. I had yesterday a family on our house, and the woman said she was in the seven in Tzfas, and her and two friends, they decided in the middle of the night they're going to the Arizal's mikveh, and they went to the Arizal's mikveh. Okay,
Grandfather would have called her and forget it.
They didn't.
Why? The women used to go. Then my wife was also. Now then the best to put a sign.
Right. No women. They're very mocked, but not to let women in. Anyway, yeah, versteht sich. But with Lapoil, from the fact that Shulchan Aruch was soisim, Shulchan Aruch says that if a Kadesha goes and brings it, you're allowed to take it. And they didn't say the average Kadesha hat sie nicht Mesiras Nefesh to go to the Arizal mitzvah, to go to a lake. If she's a Kadesha, she's probably not going to the mikveh either. So there's a Issa neither. Probably the Shulchan Aruch holds Lakula, that that's not called an Esnan Zoina. Esnan Zoina is only if it's also to marry her. If she is with a person who is also to marry her. So another thing is, maybe she's with a goy. Why is Shulchan Aruch soisim? So one way is to say maybe the Isur of Esnan is only when a Yid gives it, not a goy. So since she's a Pnuya, it's a Monasha. If she's with a Yid, then she's allowed to marry. If she's a goy, there's no din Esnan. Or maybe in Europe those days the Jewish Kadeshas, their clients were only Jewish clients. I don't know. You can't bring a Raya Gemara from here. But back to our Shaila, so like this, there's three major points. Number one, if she is with, if her clients are Jewish, it's Daklat, it's not a din in Esna, she's allowed to marry any one of them. And maybe even a goy, huh?
Unless it's a coin.
Right. So that's number one. Number two, she's getting money. She claims she gets $1,500. So I'm not. I don't know if it's true or not true, but she said we're getting $1,500. So that's money. That's not a gift. So that's mutter. And the third, which is the main point is it's only also for the Beis Hamikdash. It's a dover mos to the Eibishter. I think what the Ramban is saying is more the spirit of the law. The emes be'emes. Ilu Yitzuyer, that the money that Avraham Avinu got had it in from Esna. The Emes Apidin. And if he was Mekayim all the mitzvahs and he kept Meiser off him, would it be potter from giving Meiser? It's a nice pshat to say but be'emes, it's not. The whole issur of Esna and Zoyin and Mechir Kelev is to bring it to the Beis Hamikdash, and Magavram says that the Rishonim understood that there's a issur de Rabbonon to bring it to Mikdash Ma'at to do a mitzvah with it, but that doesn't say that the money or the gift, if she got 100 pieces of gold or 100 pieces of silver or 100 tloim, it doesn't mean that she's parted from giving meiser. She's maybe still chayiv to give meiser. Elamai, she can't give that money to the Beis Hamikdash. She can't give it to a mikdash miyat. She can't buy with it. She
can't give it to a synagogue.
Yeah, she can't give it to a shul. If she got oil, she can't use it like the Pri Megadim says for Dvar Mitzvah to use it, or got candles, she can't use it for the menorah. But Me'echi Teisi that this money or this anyway, money is not part of it, but that this gift is mufke from the mitzvah of Ma'aseh Ksofa. So B'meila, that's
where could she give it if she can't give it to certain? Where could she?
She should give it to Masbia.
So that would be a proper staka. That's not a shul. It's not a mius.
Yeah,
it's not.
Then there would be like the mashal and Vayikra Rabba, that she is mezana and she gives tzedakah to the poor people.
And 90% of the people there must be are not even Jewish.
Okay, but there is a din that you mafarnas ani goyim ani Yisrael nedarke shalom. So you're supposed to.
If there's still poor Jews are starving, and you give to poor goyim.
Yeah, no, I mean she could give. I'm joking. I'm saying she could give, but not to a basic. But again, if it's money, she could give to a basic Knesset. Okay. Anyway, this is obviously a theoretical question.
She didn't offer to give money to the shul. Based on Menachem Mendel.
No.
Because then it would be a personal. It would be a shaila of
yeah, right. Okay. Let's go to the next shaila. A young Talmid Chacham in our shul.
What?
It comes to a lot of the shiurim.
Well, that's connected to the shul. I don't you draw the line.
I can't say he's the youngest member of the shiurim. They're younger, but it's a young Talmid Chacham, and he's sitting here now, and he asks shaylas sometimes, and he asked the shayla, and the other day I didn't get a chance to cover the shaylas. I want to cover it right now. A young Talmid Chacham asked a question that the Sefer Torah is brought to the bima. There's a crown, Kesed Torah, crown Simchas Torah. So Simchas Torah is a big connection to Kesed Torah, Minig Yisrael Torah, to have a crown. Kabbalah is a special name, Kesed Torah, which is Lamayla Masaga. We're dancing. That's the name of Simchas Torah. We're dancing. We're not learning Torah. We're dancing with the Torah. We're so samach with the Simchas Torah is higher than Tamadas, higher than understanding. Just the dancing itself. When that's merumas in the union of Kesed Torah, that's why Kesed Torah is a special shaykh. It's a Simchas Torah, and it has bells. It's an instrument. So our young Talmid Chacham asked, how would it be mutter? I didn't get a chance right before Rosh Hashanah to answer the shaila. I want to go to Gemara.
I don't think there's balls inside the bells.
The emes is like this. Yeah. And this all goes into the shaila. It's part of the answer. The emes is that these bells are shvache bells. They don't have an inside thing that it's a shvache bell. And this looks like a bell. It's not mamash a bell. That's going to be part of the answer. But okay, but Nomazogan, if the Sefer Torah did have, and it sounds a little bit from the discussion. So basically, in Shulchan Aruch and Siman Reish Tzadik Beis in Yodedeya, the Taz says that it's also to put on bells on the crowns. And the Shach says, "What if it's a minig Yisrael? How can you say it's also?" So that from there the firestorm starts. So the bells that we have today, I wonder if the Taz would have even said it's also. It's a schwache bells, ken shemein bells. Could be the Taz was talking about bells, emissary bells. That there is like a bell, that there is something in the side, and like they have today. It's not so popular. I'm all used to have it on porches. People used to have like, and the wind comes. No, I don't want to talk about such things. I don't know. Yeah, wind chimes. So they give a very, very pleasant sound. You see it very little around now. But Molda was a lot of people.
Annoying.
Huh?
Very annoying.
Depends. If your neighbor, it's annoying. If you're walking by, if Yenim's neighbor, it's nicht gefährlich. So, yeah.
You know somebody else.
But it's very cute. Okay. So it could be, like I said, in the Taz times, they probably had real belts. Probably the belts that we have today, the Taz would also agree is garnished. But still, let's be ma'ayin in the sugya. Also, because this will also be relevant about little children, giving them toys. Yes. I see this from Shal Shuvas today. I look in the Piskei Shuvas from he said Mekel because little children, but I'm not so sure if you're really. We'll talk about it in a minute. So you have to look through the sugya because it's negaya to a few more things also, not only to the Sefer Torah. I mean, Sefer Torah is only a question why. It's not negaya l'poil. That's minig yitral Torah. Like we make Sefer Torah, and it's a good question why. But also it's negaya to things that we do on Shabbos, including giving children toys that make noise. Right. Also, Lashmiya Kol Shel Shir El Bepeh Belavad. It's a Gemara in Edevin of Kuf Dalet. Also, Lashmiya Kol Shel Shir El Bepeh Belavad. Avaloi Bedover Achen Gzeir Shema Yitakin Kli Shir. Ve'ez a Kol Shel Shir. What's a Kol Shel Shir? Kol Shel Miskaven Lashmiya Ben In Musktzas Kederek Shir. The Chacham was scared that he's going to be metakin a Kli Shir. So they said, you don't use a Kli Shir. If he's going to play guitar and the string is going to rip, he's going to try to fix it. And then he's going to be over a malacha. So they said, don't play on the guitar. There's a kol shashir. Kol shemaskavan lashmi ben imus ksasa. Kol shashir means he wants a sweet melody. Kederach shir. Kegoin mashanoislim kli mayim bekli molin ekavim umeitif al kli matefes pofui tif achatif. Kedei sheyishma kol noim b'shvil choyle sheyishin kol noim madrimoy. The original noise machine, very complicated noise machine. Today you can get it on Amazon for $9.99. So they had a noise machine. It was a whole complicated thing. That they had a keli, they filled it up with water. It was a tiny hole, and afterwards in the bottom they put a kli matokas, and probably a certain type of matokas, and it would go down ding 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 metal. And it would go ding ding. It had like obviously there was a few little techniques involved, and the distance and the hulu and it was a noise machine. And the choyle that never can't fall asleep would fall asleep from this noise machine. So also losses came ela l'choyle balvad. There are people that never they have a hard time falling asleep. They have a hard time falling asleep.
Kids have noise machines.
A lot of kids need noise machines. A lot of kids need noise machines to fall asleep. Yeah, it's just sometimes it's
noise in the house that they will call
for that, but sometimes it's too quiet. Every kid is different. Sometimes it's good to have a noise machine. You see, Chazal talked about such a thing as a noise machine. So they said it's for Shabbos. You only want to do it for Kollel. Avlo the body. This is a special exception that the Braisa has. Doesn't mean it's not a klal b'chol Torah. Chachamim, the same Chachamim that made the Gzeira against a klishir said for a Kollel you're allowed to have a klishir. Avlo the body. Neshu kein Kollel shel klishir. V'yeshlik zashem etzak and klishir. If it's like an alarm clock that he has he has a contraption that the water car starts banging, bang, 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 and okay. So maybe he winds it up, and then the thing opens up and starts whatever. Yeah, and it wakes him up. Mutter after the body. She'en kein koil shel shlishir. Kiven she'en b'neima b'nacht. V'chein lahok shel adelis. כדי שיפתחו לו, לכן כל כיוצא לזה, וכל שאין הדרך מותר להשמיע. יש אומרים, which is that I'm שאף על פי כן, also להשמיע בכלי המיוחד לכך. זה שיתקנו כגון להוקר של הדלס בטווס הקבוע בו, אף שאין מסכוון לכל שיר. ולכן אוסר לשמש להקס על הדלס, לקרוא לבית הכנסת על כלי המיוחד לכך, אלא מכה ביודע על הדלס. וכן נוהגים, ויש מקומות נוהגים שמכה בשבש בכלי אחר שאין מיוחד לכך. And the Ramah is Machmer, but I think it's Fardim today also Lapel Machmer like the Ramah. That not to the Marshal, there's a lot of there's doors that they have a special thing that you could, yeah. So not to use that. In the olden days, there was the Shamish. It used to walk around to wake up people to come to the Beis HaKnesses. So he used to have a Kli Miyuchid L'kach that he used to bang on the windows to wake everyone up in the morning to come to the Beis HaKnesses. So there was no such thing, no foil shtick. The Shamish came, there was Aveket, just like you have in Yeshiva Aveket. They had your whole life, you had Aveket that came and woke you up. In a way, it's Machai, if you think about it. So he was, so according to the Ramah, on Shabbos, he was supposed to use his hand or a different Kli, not a Kli Miyuchid L'kach. Kol Mokem Einisa B'zeh, Elek Shetzorech L'kol Zeh, V'miskam L'ashmir, B'Kli Miyuchid L'kach. Aber sheine mekaven l'kol shashir. Ela sheine mekaven l'kol shashir. The issue is when he needs this coil, he wants to get into the house and he's banging on the door. So even though he doesn't want to kill shear, but he's banging on the door, so it's also. Avalim ein miskaven lashmiya coil klal. Basically, v'nei sheine tzorich loy klal. If he's not mekaven to mashmiya koil, ela shakoil nishma me'elav shenoit lakli. Kegon zug sheyesh by inbel v'tabas sheyesh by aferes mashmiya koil muta little nanichan after mashmiyim koil yedei zeh, because if he's not trying to make a coil, even if it's a bell, but if he's not trying to make a coil, the Alter Rebbe holds its mutter. The Alter Rebbe holds its mutter. V'afilu leilach lovish bebeget shekavua b'zug hamashmiya kol shashir mutter kiven she'ena miskaven l'kach. Because it's not a question of dova she'ena miskaven, dova she'ena miskaven. That's a mistake to think that way. Just the way the Alter Rebbe understands the sugya is if you're not miskaven, so then this is not called music. Chazal made exeded you're not allowed to play guitar. You're not allowed to take a tambourine and go like this. But when but if you're trying to move a guitar and a tambourine, it would be muktzah. But if it's something which is not muktzah, because sometimes you hang it up and you bag it. Say it's a cute little tambourine that the woman has with a pin and some yellow flag on it. So it's not muktzah. So she puts it on. So Abai making a little bit of noise. No. Because it's not miskaven, so that's not called a kol shel shir b'chlal. Matam zamuta littlus b'shabbos ala paroichus ritzua shabbat tluim pa'amoinim k'dei lashmiya kol anshe Beis HaKnesses b'shor shemetzim ha'sefer Torah k'dei she'ishmu v'yakuma. Af shezeh ha'toila pa'amoinim miskaven sheshmiya kol b'shas psichis oren mikol mokem oiseh paseach oren ein miskaven klal k'dei lashmiya kol. The person that's opening the Oren Kodesh, they used to have like a strip on top of the paroiches, the bells. So as soon as you start opening, you hear. So those sounds. So everyone stood up because they hear the sound. So, but the person that's opening is not miskaven. So the way the Alter Rebbe is learning, if you're not miskaven, if the scale is not muktzah, if this scale is not muktzah, it's not muktzah. This pin that the woman is putting in her lapel is not muktzah. So if you're not miskaven, that's not part of the gzeda. That's well not part of the gzeda. When the Ramo was machmir, even though it's not really music, because you're miskaven, you want the guy to open the door. If you're not miskaven, it's mutter. But the problem is, what happens if he is miskaven? He sees a few people are sitting, and he opens it up as a, he opens it as a. So everyone should stand up. Look over the Sefer Torah. He's yemiskaven. Still ain't less. Even should say mitzvah. You should only akumo. But I feel a lotzayre chayla sheisha nitiru lashmi. I feel a kol shafir. Kol shkin lotzayre mitzvah. The Alter Rebbe is saying the Madoch, the Chazal, made an exception for a chayla. Kol shkin lotzayre mitzvah. They would make an exception that you're allowed to. Then the Alter Rebbe adds a line. I'm not sure why he adds it. Even but hey, the kol shkin lotzayre mitzvah. Ve'ene kol shashir. Sharei eine b'nima benachas. Elo shuklim yuchel lakach blavad. And he says, anyway, it's not a kol shashir. It's only kliya miyuchid l'kach, because the bells don't make a music that's b'ne'ima benachas. The bells are only, the Alter Rebbe holds it's only on the level of kliya miyuchid l'kach, like a thing on the door, but it's not like a guitar or a flute or that's what the Alter Rebbe holds. I don't know why the Alter Rebbe has to add these words. And once you said that is a kal v'choyme. Madoch Chazal allowed for choyla, kol shkein for a Sefer Torah and for Kabbalah Torah. Could be the Alter Rebbe is just saying it. And anyway, I'm just telling you, the Metzias, I'm saying, what happens if a person put on the peroiches or you put those things? What are they called again? Those wind chimes. Wind chimes. He put wind chimes around, and he likes it. He likes it. He likes that. What happens if a person hung up on a Sefer Torah wind chimes? Or on the Proiches or on the Sefer Torah, could be would still be mutter. I'm not sure. Anyway, bottom line, the Alter Rebbe says is matzdik the minik for two reasons. Number one, because the person is not miskaven. Again, well, here ain't a miskaven is not like, because otherwise you'd say psikresha. It's a different thing. And Zal said music is only when you want it to be music. If it's not, otherwise it's not music. Elamai, if it's clear miyuchid l'kach, you can have a problem.
It's like a peeler. A peeler job is a muksa, because now you know.
What is that? So
if you use it for something else,
if you use it, so here,
maybe that it's perfect to open it.
Yeah, right, but for sure, that's what I'm saying. Perot is not going to become muktzah, and some of these instruments could not be muktzah. But the cool over here is, number one, it's not miskaven. Number two, it's like, because it's like a choyla, just like a choyla they will make, same thing for him they will make. We're ready at it, so let's learn the other halacha. Why we're learning that next halacha is because someone lately asked me a question. And last night we saw a video. The Rebbe had a minhag that he would be'ez simcha. The Rebbe would whistle himself sometimes, or there was a guy that lived here in Flatbush. Oh, and I stood not far from Meir. It's a nest that my eardrums still work. But maybe if the world's records had made a contest of whistlers, Meir might win.
When did he do it during the service?
Shabbos, Yom Tov,
anytime.
Yeah, it was like this. You see in the video, and the mayor is not there in that video. So mayor, mamish, you could hear him from one end. The acoustics in 770 are not good, and it's the basement with the. And you could hear it say a base medish, the other could say base medish. It was like bouncing off the wall. Yeah, you could hear it everywhere.
Wow.
Mayor was unbelievable. Anyway, so the Rebbe, so someone asked me, it's Tuma, it's Klippa. So first of all, let's finish the halacha. And the next halacha. The halacha is v'kol zeba mashmiya koile de mais avlepiv muter lashmiya kol shashir. Afila ene kederach shira bepe ela katel kli zemer. Girl zipper, elu shikarim lechabereim, umetzaftzapin ketzipper, afu b'shoyes tziftzap v'ginam lahana b'shir. Mutter lasoyes lo b'shabes, l'fish ein ligs v'shem yitakim t'shir. Elu b'mashmiya kol al yedei is a mais, avaloi al yedei piv. That the gzeda was only if you're doing it through a mais, but not through your mouth. It's only through a mais, but not through your mouth. Okay, so the Rebbe used to say that they should whistle. So first of all, I'm looking last night. Maybe there's a epi. Someone's going to say that there's a problem with whistling because. So I found. It's almost a Purim Torah, but it's cute. There was a Yid Shlomo Aviner. Do you know who he is? He's
he's one of the leaders of the
It's a the Rav
He's a Rav of Beitel?
big Hamachakim.
Okay. So he has in a Sefer Piskei Shlomo. He writes. Someone asked him, "Safta sheli omeret sheze lo nahug lishroik. Ze nachon? Im ze also mishum chukas hagoyim. Im mutar gam b'Shabbos." He writes, "Ein shum isur lishroik." He says maybe b'chutz la'aretz the goyim used to do it, so the Yidden didn't do it. Maskana, al tishrek b'nachachas, saftach mishum kvoida. V'chei mutar b'Shabbos gam b'peh, v'gam be'ezes yadayim. Shut shila shloima, v'chein hagoyim, Rabbi Yosef Dov Soloveitchik Omer, she'en ze chukas hagoyim. V'hoichocha, ma'heta b'shulchan aruch erichaim, s'mashem lamachas, shemutar b'Shabbos, v'ein b'y mishum hashmiya v'kol, v'kal v'choyim b'chol. This is halakha. So I'm just reading this because when I finally found someone, but then I found the real thing. That's hashgacha pratis. Sometimes certain shilas. Shabbos, we talk about music. Shabbos, I spoke about the Rebbe's thing with taking away the French national anthem. And the Rebbe, in one of his final sichos, the Rebbe did it 50 years ago, Tavshel Amadalad in Simchas Torah. And then one of the last sichos after Hanukkah in Tavshel Beis, the Rebbe said a story that the Siddim took the story, away from the Klippa and to make a ma'apech against the Yetzer Hara. And the Sar Shalamayla realized it, and therefore Lamata, the French changed a little bit there. And then the Rebbe turned around, and they said they should sing Emizal Blazin. And then there is the footnote in the Sikha, that the Rebbe says why they should blow, why what's the mocker? So it's a posek mefurish. It's unbelievable. Before I get to this posuk mefurish, I have to read to you a shtikla sicha on Purim. Think about it. It's a Purim sicha, so it's at the end of Fabrengen. It's maybe it's long. The Fabrengens of Purim could be 5-6 hours. Wow. So it's maybe 3:00 in the morning. The Rebbe says, "Sigevena Maisa by 5."
This is the following night?
No. This story?
This is like Hannah's Esther night?
No, there'll be the Fabreng after the, after the Suda.
3 in the morning.
Yeah, that was Fabreng.
Fabreng is probably sleeping.
Whoever wanted to be Zerch the Fabreng kept a little bit, it's like Halton and the Ramen because, you can't stand when you're Shikah Veloit for 5-6 hours. Never mind understanding. Right. Stand. I used to stand, put in Fabrengens. I remember it was like, at the end of Fabreng, you can feel your feet. Right. So, even though there was a certain simcha, but you have to stand. So at the end, the Rebbe says, "Gewinna Meise mit Pfeifen." Bemeile seine Gewinna Säune, was haben sie gehabt, als dort man mir reingehabt. Reihe, ich habe allein gepfeift und ich habe geheißen andere Pfeifen. Und man sei ich und mache die Weich, mir mach ich say, someone again, when I had a beef with Lubavitch, obviously, made a big deal that Lubavitch Rebbe is doing too many things, that he blows with a whistle, and that he whistles, and he tells noch other people to whistle. Then the Rebbe goes and tells Sicher. It's just funny. The Rebbe said, he says, I don't understand. The Hef Chassidim, they claim that they're dedicated ad kedei Mesiras Nefesh, and then here there's people that are looking to be Meskabe, Mekol, and Chaveda. Very interesting. And instead of learning Torah, the Mevatel Torah, to look, maybe I'll stumble and do something once wrong. They learn my sichas not to learn Torah. They learn my sichas to try to chap me. My siddim can't stand up to answer. I waited a few weeks to see if one of my siddim will answer right. It's a posik mefurish. It's a gemore mefuresh, and it's a yeshiva shemesechta. How come that one of my siddim, there are 2 times? How come there are people that are learning a sichah not to learn Torah, but to be Meskabe and Mekol and Chaveda? Okay. And how come none of my Chassidim could chap that my unholy is a posuk in the Torah. It's a posuk, and it's a gemara mefureshes, and it's a halacha and Rambam.
Wow.
So how come no one can stand up? And I waited, the Rebbe said, a few weeks to see if one of my chassidim will answer ka'alocha. And no one answered, so I have no choice, and I'm answering. So it's a posuk mefurish. I mean, it is a posuk mefurish, but you can understand why no Lubavitch Achapt. It's a beferish posuk in Zechariah, Perek Yud posuk Ches. It's a beferish posuk in Zechariah. Next time you learn Zechariah, look out for that posuk.
Okay.
So the pasuk says, "Eshre kolahem v'akaptzim kipedisim v'rabu kamoy rabu." And if you look in the Meforshim, there's only one pshat for the pasuk. The Eibishter says that on the end of days, I will whistle, because the Yidden are going to be in different places in the world, very far in Golus. I'm going to whistle to the Jewish people, and I'm going to bring them back.
Wow.
And that's going to be the beginning of the Geula. The beginning of the Geula is going to be that the Eibush is going to whistle. No, the whistle. That's what the pasuk says.
Wow.
So obviously there could be there's also the shofar, but there's Kabe Shofar Gadol Chereseinu.
Yeah.
But and it's we say 3 times a day. But it says Eshrik Olahem. And then there's a Gemara Chulin Daf Samach Yimel. Oh, the Gemara says, how do you know Mashiach is coming? If you see a bird that's making a whistle, it's whistling, and there has to be a certain bird called a rocha, Melosh Rachmanis, because the Eibush has Rachmanis in the Yid. And if it's standing on a gate, that's not a simon. But if it's standing on the earth, it's a simon. The Gemara says that someone asked Abaye, but I saw a bird that was standing on the field and was whistling. He said, no, that bird was a badoi, was a liar. And Horaya, that a rock came flying down the mountain and killed that bird. It was a foul. It was the false Messiah. It was so therefore, it got punished. That bird got punished. You see, that's unbelievable. Talking about Ashkocha Pratis, even a Balechayim. So the Rebbe says, we see from here. I mean, if it's also to whistle, if it's Tumah, the Eibishter is going to do something Tumah. I mean, it doesn't make sense. And we're saying that from the Gemara's Mashma, the Rebbe said that the whistling could come. The Eibishter said, I'm going to whistle. And you could say it's a metaphor. But from the Gemara saying that there was a story of a bird, emes it's Nagadata. But the Gemara is saying a story that there was a bird that was whistling. It sounds like when the Gemara brings this pasuk ve'eshrik kolayim. So it sounds like from the Gemara that it's not just a metaphor, that the begashmi is that the Eibush is going to be. So if a bird could be the shliach to whistle, so it can't be that a yid is going to be the shliach to whistle. And then the Rebbe says that the Rambam, there's a beferish Rambam at the end of Hilchas Sukkah and Lulav that says that a person that has to have simcha shel mitzvah. And he says the story of David HaMelech that he was dancing. The fathers were called Lifnei Hashem, and then Michal Bashol looked from the window and she chastised them. She said that you're ke'echad hareikim, you were dancing like one of the like the riffraff. So
Empty
like the empty ones.
Yeah.
And he said no, that the fakert Lifnei Hashem hakovda, for me it's the biggest covet to dance for the Eibishter.
Yeah.
The Rebbe said that the idea of whistling in this world is poichazim v'reikim. Usually, the people that whistle is poichazim v'reikim. The anoshim uchubodim are not whistling. So the Rebbe said that when there's a simcha shel mitzvah and a simcha shel Torah, the Rebbe said, so a yid is like David HaMelech, doesn't care to be mevazeh himself, but abi for the covet of the Eibishter. And then the Rebbe adds an unbelievable line. He said the bottom line is that from all this whistling is coming out Yitzhofa and Torah mitzvahs and Achayis and Torah mitzvahs. It goes into the general shita of the Rebbe. I mean, you see in Poil, the people that are standing there and whistling, and a lot of the people that were whistling were not lavdafke the Greste Rosh Yeshivas. But when they went out from the Fabrengen, when the Rebbe told them to whistle, they had an unbelievable chayas and I gave them an unbelievable chizuk in Yerushalayim. And then the Rebbe said, this was the punchline. That you understand why the Rebbe said to 5. The Rebbe said there is an inyan that the Poiches and Marekim, there's a saying in Yiddish, five zachon apianim. Five zachon. That the whistling, I don't care about you. I care very little about you. Five zachon. This is an expression in Yiddish, and in other languages there's that expression. So the idea of whistling is sometimes whistling could be excitement, and sometimes whistling is, get out of here. You have no cheshivas to me. So the Rebbe said that we're mefayf tzachon of the Yetzer Hara. The idea of the is the chedus me Yetzer Hara. So mefayf tzachon of the Yetzer Hara. Let me just read it inside. He said, then the Rebbe says that the Alter Rebbe wrote to Chassidim after he went out of jail that they al yishrik lehem, that chas v'sholom. Not only they shouldn't say anything to misnagid. You see, our Rebbe came out of jail and you tried to chas v'sholom, but they shouldn't even. It was only shveifen. They shouldn't even on the other side of the street. I guess that was the people used to do that. It's not so in vogue today. But it's ungefeift of yan and gepshute. So the al yishrik. So the Rebbe said because that's a of klipa. That's a but afat zweiten Yid pfeift man nicht. Aber auf Yetzer Hara 5 bis wannen man wird ihm verpfeifen. So that was so that was the word. The word was that was the point of the Rebbe's word. It's on from the Welt. The Yid does not install what the world tells me to do. I'm going to do what the Rebbeinu Shalom does. And Yesh Shlomo, that's a little bit the Inyan of Esher Kolahem Hakaptzim. That we're going to on sich of the Welt. A simon of the Geula is, or the Achon of the Geula is, that a 5 tzachon doesn't matter what the Washington says, it doesn't matter what the Europeans say, and more important for me and you, it doesn't matter what the what the goyim around us say, what the society says, or what people say, and what people think. My 5 tzachon of the Welt, my 5 tzachon of the Yetzer Hara, and we do what the Eibishter wants from us to fulfill the mission of our neshama in this world. We limit that Torah b'shufi and kiyum mitzvahs behidur, and the Mishtal Tzachavek Shabbos Bereishis, Baruch Hashem on Sunday, and the right foot, and as always, will gain the ganze York, as a chom pfeifen of the Yetzer Hara, as a chom pfeifen of the Golos.
What the kids whistling something?
Oh,
What?
yes. Oh, that's
Kid
right.
whistling or Shem.
Oh, yeah. This is
You didn't know how to
Baal
daven.
Shem Tov.
You didn't know how to daven.
Yeah. Okay. Menachem, you missed. We just talked about the pfeifen, about the whistling.
That whistling brings out the
Huh?
horror.
Yeah, we know exactly.
Right.
What?
You weren't here to listen to the mimer. Yesterday.
I don't know. I can't teach you because I don't know how to do it myself. That I can do. The real whistling.
And now, the Rebbe encouraged us to be good.
No.
Bring that to put the point of it brings us up to a higher level. This is one of the reasons why at this time of the year the Rebbe can go to the Italia with people on a low level. So that could maximum you bring out the sun.
So I'm telling you, I looked. I couldn't find it. The Rebbe says it's a posuk. It's a posuk. It's a Gemara pulling. That's Samach Gimel. The funny thing is that the Rebbe didn't. The Rebbe obviously did it mechatzilah because he had a reason for doing it because it's a posuk, and that's a simon for the Geula. It's a chom pfeifen of the Welt. The Rebbe waited a few weeks. He wanted to see if I wanted. Yeah.
I thought it would just say like this.
That was just pasuk before. I waited to see. It's so much about the pasuk before. The pasuk before. It's God. It's out. The Emes stuff. Samach Gimel and Chulin. It's not so far off. First of all, it's in Agadat. Yeah. It's the pasuk in Zachariah. We don't learn in Yeshiva Zachariah.
Chacham learns nothing. He would know the pasuk. Someone wants another.
Huh? So, right.
No.
That's a Befedish that says. No, that's a Befedish that says it's mutter.